What the system does, it doesn't want us to understand the true nature of the I. From cradle to grave, a human life is a download of perceptual programming. That's what it is. And they test you, if you've accepted that level of reality, nature of reality, by exams. And then the media is pounding out the same version of reality. Got your biological computer, and it is decoding reality via perceptions in a particular way. And you've got someone else in a different biological computer that is decoding reality in a different way. So when we look at the world, everyone seems to be apart from everyone else and different. But when you get to the level of consciousness beyond the body, then it's one flow of consciousness with different points of attention in it. The other thing about that is that when we talk about oneness, it doesn't mean we all have to be the bloody same. This oneness, this infinite state of consciousness, is all possibility, all potential. When people talk about being something that has been, is, and always will be, that's impossible. You know, you can't be all that is, has been, and ever can be. All that's describing is a state of all possibility and all potential. So to celebrate your uniqueness is to celebrate that you're part of this infinite possibility. What happens when you withdraw from that identity into a label is you stop being unique. I mean, you go around the world and you get different situations almost anywhere. It doesn't matter what the culture is, doesn't matter what the race is, and a certain situation will happen, and it's like pressing enter on a computer. You know how people are going to react. It creates a sameness instead of celebrating uniqueness. And what is happening now with political correctness, don't start me, and all this policing of language, policing of behavior, it's forcing people into basically a blob where everyone's the same and there's no uniqueness left. And what that is doing is taking us out of a state of identity with the I, which is identifying with being all possibility, I can be anything, into being this blob. And it's being policed because the more you become part of the herd, the more you're withdrawing from the true state of I, which is consciousness. If you look at the herd mentality, it's just everyone following everyone else. And that means whoever's the frickin' shepherd is running the show. And that's basically how this conspiracy works. Two things. You've got the herd of sheep, or the flock of sheep. You've got the shepherd in front, and the sheep are following him. And any sheep that want to break out of that, then they're sorted out with the sheepdog, which symbolizes fear. And that's how the human race is controlled. This is where fear of consequences, that's the fear of the sheepdog, basically. And, you know, I stood there one day, a long time ago, and I watched this massive herd of sheep coming down this hill. There was a shepherd in front, and there was a sheepdog. And all these sheep were just following the one in front. And I thought, what would happen if these sheep just stopped and said, hold on a minute, I'm not following this bloke anymore, I'm out of it. And the fear comes, row, oh, you know, have a nice day. And they go that way, and they go that way, and that way. In minutes, this shepherd authority would have lost complete freaking control. The sheepdog would have lost control because no one's reacting with fear anymore. And suddenly, the whole situation's changed. All the sheep are going off in their own directions they want to go in. And the control system's dead. That's all we have to do. Stop cooperating with our own enslavement and stop policing each other. We associate love with overwhelmingly physical attraction. And for me, the nearest thing that you can get to real love in its universal sense is friendship. We've so lost the meaning of love that we have to put words in front of it, like unconditional, to explain what we mean. Because if your love is only attraction, well, that will probably burn out at some point. And what happens? The relationship ends, because it's not really based on unconditional love. Friendship is. There's a great line: a friend is the one that walks in the room when everyone else is walking out. Where it doesn't mean you agree with the person, and you don't even agree with what they've done, but you're there for them. Because your love is without condition. And this is the love that exists in the greater reality, the infinite reality beyond this manipulated realm that we experience. That love is far more powerful than fear. We have the body, it's actually holographic, but the body is actually an electromagnetic field. And there are vortex points through this field, which are known in the East as chakras, meaning wheels of light. And they're vortexes in the field. There are some photographic techniques that can photograph them now. And there's 7 major ones through the human energetic field beyond this visible light spectrum that our eyes can see. And the key one is right here in the middle of the chest, and it's called the heart chakra in the East. Heart vortex, you might call it. Now, this is where, from ancient times, the association between the heart and love came from. Not the physical heart. I mean, they symbolize it as the physical heart, don't they? Understandably. But it's this. When you're feeling love for someone, you don't feel it here. This vortex here relates to emotion. That's why we feel emotion in the belly. That's why when we're nervous, we get the shits. Because of the way the fear and anxiety affects this vortex from the gut. Here. Which, the gut, gut reaction that comes from here. So this is where we feel love. And, oh God, my heart goes out. And we feel compassion from here. This is why. And in most people, the head is the arbiter of perception, and it's the arbiter of action. The head is a very, very limited state. We call it the intellect. We worship the intellect. The intellect is the village idiot compared with this. This is innate intelligence. This is learned intelligence. And what fear does is it shuts it down. Love is not, I love you, so do what you like to me. This is the power they want to shut down. They do it through fear, they do it through anxiety, and they do it through depression. When you open this up, that's where your power comes from. And what else comes from here? Intuition. What is intuition? Intuition knows. And the brain thinks because it doesn't know, and thus it has to try to work it out. So look at the body language of people. Hold on, I'm thinking. I know, I just know. Look where their hands go. I know, I just feel it. And this is where intuition comes from. And this is our connection to the wider consciousness. This is why this is innate intelligence, because it's connected to those levels of awareness that do know. An organization in America, it's called the Heart Math Institute. And it's been working for decades now on the power of this and how it influences reality. And there was a therapist at one time, and she said that one of the techniques she had when she was talking to a client, she'd put them in a chair and she'd say, tell me your problem from your head's point of view. Tell me what your head's saying about this problem. And she'd listen. And then she'd symbolically change chairs and she'd say, well, now tell me what your heart is saying about the problem. And this lady said it was like talking to 2 totally different people. Yeah. What they're doing, head to heart, is actually literally connecting with another level of consciousness, which therefore has a completely different fix on the problem. And when you open it, you don't just open it to what we call love, you open it to enormous amounts of insight, intuitive knowing that you won't get if that is closed. And the other thing about love, this is actually the ultimate power, because love is devoid of that which controls us, fear. When your heart is open and you're coming from there, you do not feel fear. This never says, I know what I need to do, I know what I need to do, the right thing, but what are the consequences? This doesn't do consequences. It's a completely different interaction with reality. It just transforms your bloody life.